Alright man, welcome back to the channel, man. My name is Flmr Moon, aka Jim for short. The table's a little too hot for me. Hold on. That's good. That's good. Alright, if you're looking to take your content, your style, your quality to a different level, you came to the right place. So lock in, because today we're gonna be using Dehancer. I'm gonna review it, show you guys how to use it. And listen, if you're interested, Dehancer gave me the privilege and the honors to give you guys 10% at checkout using my discount code. So stay tuned to the end. And I just want to be clear that no, Dehancer is not paying me to say this. They asked me to give an honest review and just show you guys how to use it to help you guys understand what you're getting into. Also in the background, you're going to hear my smoke detector continuously go off. Ignore it. All right, I just moved into my apartment. I got 10-foot ceilings. I'm not finna change it no time soon. I don't have a ladder to reach that high. I'm not 10 foot tall to reach my, it's just gonna have to beat for now. Prime example. For the ones who don't know, Dehancer is the film emulation plugin that basically allows you to color grade straight from Dehancer and manipulate and control and create your own styles, giving this film old school, authentic cinematic look. This works for not only video, but photo as well. We're talking Lightroom, Premiere Pro, After Effects, DaVinci Resolve, Baselight, Final Cut, and this is a subscription-based plugin offering a variety of different packages to choose from, whether you're choosing monthly, annually, or a lifetime pass, which is just one time. All you gotta do is buy it one time and you're good to go. That's enough of the details, man. Let's hop right in and show you how it works. All right, so today we're gonna be working in Premiere Pro. I am editing off the M5 MacBook, the M5 Pro MacBook at that, and I'm gonna find a clip to get for you guys. We'll probably use more than one clip so you guys can see from different shots, but we're just gonna use this clip here for now, drag this in. I'm gonna use an adjustment layer to put Dehancer on top of, just to make it a little easier for the rest of the clips. Once you download Dehancer and get it into Premiere, we're gonna come over here, gonna go to video effects and go to film emulation. Today we're gonna be using the pro version. We're just gonna drag this over on top of the adjustment layer. And as you can already see, the footage has already been changed up a little bit. I'm gonna turn it off. All right, now look, there's no right or wrong way to do this, no right or wrong way to color grade, color correct, whatever. It's just my preference, so you can figure out your style, how you wanna do it, but I'm gonna take you through how I do it. So starting off, once you get Dehancer downloaded and into Premiere Pro or whatever software you're using, you're gonna go down, scroll down, you're gonna see license. You're gonna click this and then put your information in. Whatever you pay for, you can apply the license on that software, because if you don't, you're gonna have that big old watermark. You're not gonna be able to use it. You know how I go. All right, so first thing first, we got our input set to default, which is Rec 709. You can change this to choose camera, which they have a bunch of different cameras to pick from. I am shooting off of the Sony a7 IV, but they don't have that because it just came out recently. So we're gonna go with the a7 IV. I am shooting an S-Log3 Gamma 3 Cine, so we're gonna use that one, and then boom, you can already see like we just brought everything in. As you can see here, there's some effects already applied into it, like the grain, for example. Some things are already enabled. We're gonna have to go through every single one and enable and disable what we do use, what we don't use. So I'm gonna do that step by step with y'all. Now you have your exposure. We might brighten this a little bit. Actually, we'll leave them come back to it. I don't usually touch my exposure off rip. We have temperature, your tint, and then here you have your defringe and your defringe radius, which I don't ever use, so we're gonna pass that. Now we're gonna come down and go to film. You have a bunch of different profiles to choose from to help get your style how you want it. There's so many to go from. I'm not gonna go through all of these, but I'm just gonna show you guys. For example, like if I pick this one, then if I enable it, boom. If I pick, let's go pick a Kodak one, which I'll probably go, let's do 160. Then we can push and pull this how we like to. And I might just keep this. I actually don't mind this. I might just keep it for now, just to show you guys. Actually, I won't, because I want to get a look. Now we're gonna move down to film developer. I'm gonna enable this really quick, and then I'm gonna adjust my contrast boost to see what I'm working with. And because I'm off the 14-inch MacBook Pro, I have to go here to see what my lumetri scopes are looking like. So as long as I'm not peaking, I don't mind for a vintage look. I don't mind my darks being too dark. I don't mind them hitting zeros, but I don't want it hitting hard. So all right, gamma correction I'm gonna leave. I'm usually gonna adjust my exposure before I adjust that. My color separation, I'm gonna leave that alone. And then my color boost, we're going to turn up. Let's get a different frame. My color boost, I'm going to turn up. Probably that's pretty much going to be like your saturation, your vibrance. They do have one separated for saturation, but we'll get to that one in a second. Now film compression and short is pretty much going to affect your highlights. We're going to enable this. I'm going to adjust the total range of this. The impact is going to be the overall adjustment for all three of these below it. I'm probably going to put this at I'm probably just gonna put it at 100 for now and just leave it there. And then the tone range, I'm probably just gonna leave it at 46. Now expand, I usually skip over this one because all it is white points and black points, and you know, you guys understand how white points and black points work. It's gonna make your whites brighter, gonna make your darks blacker. I'm not gonna mess with any of these, so I might just put this like on 0.1. And then color density, if you look at my skin tones and the skin tones on the TV, you can see the change, right? So I'm probably gonna jack this all the way down to 100 because I kind of don't want it to be too, hold on, let's actually go, we'll go -40. And then my saturation, I personally leave it up to 100 max. My tonal contrast I would touch here, but if I do, it's because my dark's too black, so I'm gonna leave it alone because we're already pretty low. Let's put this frame on here. We're gonna open up color heads. Now color heads I don't ever use. I'm never really gonna adjust this stuff, but you have your yellows, your blues, your magentas, your greens, everything from your shadow tones, mid-tones, and highlights. I'm not gonna adjust anything here, but this is optional to turn on, enable, and just go crazy with. As you can see, like you can do a whole lot here. But I'm not gonna touch anything here. We're gonna bypass this and we're gonna skip over to film grain. My film grain I have set at a profile of 35 millimeters at ISO of 250, but you can adjust this. When anything that has profiles here, gives you a lot of options to pick from. If you open this up, as you can see, we can go to 65 mil all the way down to 8 mil. Now going down to 8 mil on any profile is gonna pretty much exaggerate everything, right? So if you look at this, if I put it on 8 mil at a 500 ISO with the most grain, as you can see, the difference that we just got is insane. So I'll probably we'll just do a 16 mil at a 250 to show you guys a good bit of grain there to see a difference. You can customize these as well, so you don't have to choose these profiles. These profiles are optional, but you can customize these. So if you go back to grain, you can customize, you can adjust the size, the amount, the film resolution. So if, for example, if we turn this resolution down from 75 to 0, so now we're like kind of out of focus. There is no focus at all. Halation is pretty much an effect that kind of like softly bleeds the highlights. So what I mean is, if you turn this on and let's do an 8 mil so you guys can really see what I mean. If you see what I mean, like if you look at my shirt here, this is on 35 mil, right? We zoom into my shirt here. Watch the bleed when I put it on a 16 mil. Just watch the bleed. There's a big difference. And if you put it on an 8 mil, there's a huge difference, right? Halations is kind of like taking those highlights and softly bleeding them into darker areas. You know what I'm saying? Because there's no highlights on my shirt, but if we enable it, bleeds into my shirt. And bro, like I love using halations. I probably use this and the next one more than anything else. It's like the main two reasons. It's like the top two reasons as to why I use Dehancer in the first place. So I'm probably gonna put this at a 16 mil. Bloom in some terms is gonna be like where your lights and your highlights, they have a glow effect to them. So if I turn this on and enable it, then put this down to 8 mil so you guys can really see. If you look at the window, if you look at even the TV, there's a little highlight, there's a slight highlight. Bloom is something I love to use. I'm probably gonna put this on a 16 mil. And then going down to film damage, I also do love using film damage because if you know, like actual film sometimes will be damaged or scratched or whatever and just have dirt or whatever on it to where it looks like there's marks in the actual film. So if I turn this on, you guys can see here all the scratches, all the damage in the actual film. But you can go through here, total amount, scratch amount, hairs amount, dust amount. There's so much you can do to customize this film damage look for yourself. Yeah, I'm just gonna put this at a 16 because I actually was shooting this on a 18 mil, so it all makes sense. And then going down to film breadth. Film breadth is pretty much like your magentas and your greens just going back and forth. Like the film is actually breathing. Like it's like if that makes any sense. Let me just show you. So, and then we're gonna enable it. And if you look, you can kind of see the footage going from magenta to green very quickly. Now moving down to gate weave. Gate weave, I don't use because gate weave is kind of like, imagine like you're shooting handheld and you know you're trying to be stable but you can't. Gate weave, when you enable it, it just pretty much creates jitters. All right, this is current me editing the footage right here. I'm doing a voiceover because the audio is still loud and I didn't mute it. But gate weave is basically like the jitters and the film shaking because, you know, back in the day when they shot on film, there wasn't any stabilization. So jitters is kind of like handheld in a way. The last one that I use would be overscan, which is kind of like an overlay, kind of like a filter that most people would use on other apps and whatnot. And you can give yourself different options of film types to use to put in your video. So we got Super 35. We can change all of this down here, right? We can just add more into the frame and then we can rescale it how we need to. And then the exposure we can adjust as well. A lot you can do here. Your film orientation, you can go from vertical to horizontal. Like I said, for short form content, long form content. We can change the film. Here, let's put this here in Super 35. We can change the film from negative to a positive, which is kind of like the film that you would use to shoot off of, I think, if I'm not mistaken. There's negative film, positive film. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, in the comment section below, you know, correct me, you know, check me on that. So to me, that's pretty cool because most times when I see people doing this, they're using like filters, they're using like overlays, but this is actually plugged in with Dehancer. So it gives you much more customization and control over it. And it was even cooler to me is being able to add this gate defocus. So if you look around the edges here, the defocus is out. It's still focusing on your frame. This gate defocus really gives it that look, as you can see when I turn it on and off. This gives it that real, it just makes it look more raw. You know what I'm saying? Like you just, Now going down to vignette, I'm pretty sure I don't gotta show you guys what vignette is, but there's much controls here to work with. There's a lot here to do. Now your monitor, this is where you can help take more control over your highlights and your shadows. Now, as you can see here, I'm clearly peaking in the window, which shows you right here, but I don't really care. That's the whole point of this whole film look, is to give it like a real film look, and film wasn't perfect back then. The clipping indication, which can help you show you where you're clipping at, and then output is your total impact over everything that you've turned on and enabled in Dehancer. So if I take this all the way off, everything is reset to back the way it was. If I turn this on, well, not turn it on, but if I increase this, you can see it like coming in more like a LUT, more and more and more, and then I put it all the way back at 100%, and I'm gonna leave it there. And then lastly, you have your LUT generator. You can export these LUTs once you're done creating them and reuse them again. And yeah, so matter of fact, to give a better look, let's go through and let's use this one here. Let's use this footage here. Let's see how this looks. Boom. Like, that looks a lot better, but let's turn this off. We have on the gate weave. Let's turn this off. And now let's just see it. All right. And then let's actually take this film breadth, this film damage, and let's take it to 35 mil. Like, this is giving that real raw look, you know what I'm saying? And if we wanted to, we could even come back and let's go to bloom, and let's go to 8 mil. You can really see now you can really see a little bit more of the effects of bloom and how that bloom is kind of like glowing more off the highlights. And then if we did the same with halations, we could exaggerate it. I might just do it at 60 mil. And then versus, let's say if I was to go here, let's copy this, drag this over here. If I was just to take this and put a regular conversion LUT on it, 3, let's tweak it up a tad bit. Let's drag this probably about there. Now here's the difference when you take S-Log3 footage straight into Dehancers versus when you just take it into a S-Log3 conversion LUT, right? So here's Dehancer, here's regular basic S-Log3, which is not bad, but just if you want to take your style to a different level and give that real raw feel like I'm talking about, like, you know, this just gives it more of a different kind of presence. This, obviously, there's no LUTs to it, there's no other color grading to it. In my opinion, if you're looking to take the extra step for your content, for your style, to develop and get that film look as close as possible, I think Dehancer is worth it. So far, for what I need it for, it's doing the job well. I just need it for a few things to really help me manipulate and control to get this film look that I'm trying to achieve when I'm doing gym content, my vlogging content, whatever. But I use it to help separate my color grading and my looks for short form content, because nowadays a lot of folks doing short form content, we all have some LUTs that are somewhat similar in some kind of way, and everybody's doing the cinematic content or just content with a camera, period. So we all need something to stand out when it comes to color grading. And if you think it'll be beneficial to you, I can help you save 10% at checkout using code FLMR. That's Flmr, FLMR, and you know what I'm saying, say that 10%. But this look, bro, you see that? Like, are you seeing that, bro? Like, look at the screen. Are you seeing that? Like, you can't get that with just regular color grading. You can't get that. If I turn off the halations and the bloom, look at the comparison, man. Like, look at the comparison. Don't get me wrong, this is still Rec 709. There's no color grading added to it, no LUTs, no nothing. If you asking me, it look like the film straight out of heaven. Like, come on, bro. You can't beat that up. Listen, bro, I want you to take into account, I am not a professional color gradist, colorist, whatever you want to call it. I'm not a professional by no means at all. I learned how to color grade. I learned how to color correct the way I need to for what I need to do for myself. The way you use Dehancer might be in a completely different way, and that's fine. That's even great, actually. In my book, it's worth it, man. You should give it a shot. I haven't found anything that I hated or don't like about it yet so far. So if you're interested, you go check it out, man. Say the 10%. Link in the description below. I'm gonna holler at you guys on the next time. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Much love if you made it to the end. 10%. Say that 10%. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Y'all be easy. Much love. I'm gonna get that smoke detector fixed soon, but not right now, not today. I'll see you guys in the next one. And it won't be fixed then either.